Hi, Monique. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. Lily, that was so cute. I've never seen that. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. Hi, Leela. Hi, Oh So Very Ordinary. Welcome in, everybody. Deborah, those were cute. Thanks, Viola. Leela, thank you for the cute uncle alert. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And if you guys have requests, feel free to write them in the chat in all capital letters. Thank you, Mamasaurus. Thank you, Ellie, in all capital letters, and I will write them down and then we will vote. Happy Wednesday. Thank you, Jan. Hi, Sibley. Hi, Serge. Or Sergey, however you pronounce it. Either way. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you, Sibley. Hi, protecting my peace. Thank you, A. Thank you, Sibley. All right, guys, feel free to write your story requests in all capital letters. And I will do the poll as soon as we get a few more story requests. And if you guys have never requested one before, feel free to check out the list of stories on our Discord page and just feel free to request one. Thank you, Melissa. Rachel, half of my stories take place in Appalachia. All right, welcome in everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I also do Wednesday daytime lives called Witchy Wednesday. Thank you to those of you who joined me today for our 3-hour hike. It was fun. Hi, Brian. Oh, shit. No, I didn't yet. Damn it. I need to go look. Shit. I'll look at it, I promise. I'm going to write it down. Hold on. Brian's video. I can't wait to see it because you don't post that often. So I'm excited. Yep, my clicky pen. Okay. I'm here every night, 10 to 1. And, oh, fiddlesticks. You know what? I can look. Hold on one second. Okay, Brian, I checked it out. Why is Mabel so cute? That's the one you're talking about, right? All right, you guys, I am going to set up the first poll, and if you could do me a quick favor, if you could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there is Rachel, right? Well, he said fiddlesticks. I was reading what he said. Wait, Dr. Meow Meow, though, for the video. I don't get it. What do you mean? Who's Dr. Meow Meow? I don't get it. Can you send me a voice note about it, Brian? I need to know. I need to know this now. I need to know what's happening. I need to be in on the funny. Anyway, I am going to set up the first poll. And if you guys could hit that share arrow. Oh, Mabel's character in the video. Oh, she's so cute. I love the sound effects. You're like, cup. No, his cat is Mabel. He has a cute kitty too. She's adorable. He has 2 cute ones. He has 2 super cute ones. Hi, oh so very ordinary. Yes, there is a playlist for those. Thank you. Those are actually my favorite. And there is a playlist called the Unexplained series under the playlist, and it's all of those. Not mixed in with the bedtime stories. Thank you so much. I love those. Those are my favorite. I really appreciate you watching those. I put a lot of work into those. All right, guys. Yeah, the repost button, the little yellow circle, and the little circle with the star on it that says story, that puts my live into your story. Thank you, Sentahua. All right, guys. I'll be right back with the first poll. Oh, so very ordinary. You know what's so funny is Rachel over here just requested that story. She just requested the Seti one. Named Emma. I love that name for a girl kitty, Lorna. That's so cute. What kind of kitty is she? Lorna, are you on the Discord? You should share pictures of Emma. We have a whole section called porch pets, and everybody shares pictures of their pets on there. It's very cute. It's a dose of it's like a nice dopamine hit. It's like very happy endorphins. Wait, it's a secret. Did you send it to me or did you post it, Brian? Oh, Brian, I was live 3 hours today earlier. I had plenty of time to shine. Everybody check out Brian's video on his page. He has an absolutely adorable cat named Mabel and Minnie. Here, I'm going to pin him. Right here. He lives in a haunted craftsman-style bungalow in Dallas-Fort Worth. Oh, that's okay, Rachel. I understand. Most people are working. I totally get it. I'm happy if anybody can make it. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the first poll. Thanks for the reposting, the shares, the taps, all the good stuff. And thank you, Justin, for sharing the Discord link. Also, Brian's a silly goosey, and he lives in a haunted house. So you guys will enjoy his lives every day while he shows you guys around the house, tells you about the history, all the good stuff. And he's a very good friend. Yeah, Rich said, you missed a riveting hiking combo about fanny packs. Hi, Dennis. I know there's a lot of Rachels in here. We even have a Rochelle too. There's a lot of Rachies in here. Amanda, you will not regret following him. I think by now you've learned that I'm a goofy gal, right? And when I recommend somebody like him, even it's usually a hoot and a holler, and Brian will not disappoint. I know, but you changed your name, Rachel, to Rach now. All right, you guys, the first poll is ready. We have... Oh, wait, oops, sorry, one sec. Okay, the first poll is ready. Thank you, Dennis. Good evening, Porch Pal. All right, we've got the Reanimator, which is an Are You Afraid of the Dark reworking. We have the Bell Witch. We have the Marshlight. We have the Baker Hotel. And we have Haint Blue, which for Rachel asking, that is an Appalachian folklore story. So is the Bell Witch. All right. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. Hi, Cassie. How you doing, cutie? Cassie's in the house. Cassie, one of my best friends since high school, lives in Tennessee, and she's so excited about the cabin. She's like, oh my God, we're going to go stay there all the time. Spooky themed cabin. I was like, yep, but there's going to be other themes too. And she's so excited because like so many of my friends live in Tennessee. it's very exciting. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Let me end it. I don't know how that happened. This stupid poll. Sorry, guys. This one never tallies right. Thank you, Deborah, for noticing. This is the worst poll. Remember, you guys, last time it was totally wrong. Yeah, it's a different kind of poll. I just ended it. I'm sorry, guys. There's a different kind of poll, and that one, it accidentally selected it, and that one sucks. Yeah, Lindsay, I grew up in North Carolina, and Cassie lives in Tennessee, and a lot of people live in Tennessee. Yeah, Ellie, yeah. So many of y'all in here from Tennessee, too. Sorry, guys. That version of the poll. I think it only lets you vote once, and it doesn't mark the tallies right. And it's always, remember, it was wrong and showing everybody different percentages one time, and everybody was arguing over which one won, and it was really, really bad. So we don't use that poll anymore. Because it was like a brawl. And so, all right, I hope this one works. Let's try it again. The blue box in the top left-hand corner. You can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Yes, I was waiting for you to come in. I got it when I got back from my live. It was there. I haven't opened it yet, though, because I've been so busy, and I wanted to do like an unboxing video, and I've been so busy and tired all day. So I'm going to do it tomorrow, I think. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Exactly, Ellie. Yeah, I was going to do a video and say thanks and tag you and stuff. So I figured I'd wait till tomorrow because I was all sweaty and tired after my live when I got it. Okay, guys, you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. We have the Reanimator, the Bell Witch, the Marshlight, the Baker Hotel, and Haint Blue. Who's it gonna be? And yes, thank you, Justin. You're so sweet. Justin will vote for you over on YT, or the people on YT, he'll vote for you on TT if you have a preference. Say what again, Cult Horror Club? How hot was it today? Like 80 something. It was a little cooler than usual. It's been in like the hundreds and 90s, but it was like 80 something today. I hear the helicopter. Oh, that's nice, Rachie. Thanks. Harriet, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Welcome in, everybody. You're new. Hi, Harriet. Welcome to the porch. Porch pals, welcome in, Harriet. And yes, don't worry. If you're new and you missed this first poll, we do several of them throughout the night, and they will always be a blue box in the top corner. That pink banner that says TikTok Universe does cover them up, and it's really annoying. So if you can't see it, just swipe that hot pink banner out of the way when it shows up, and you should see the poll under there. All right, and the winner is the Reanimator, which was Eric's request. Hi, country kid. Eric's request, and it is an Are You Afraid of the Dark reworking. So grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. And welcome to the porch. Happy Wednesday. Be right back with the tale of the Reanimator. Thank you for the follow, Red. Hi, Songbird. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks, Jessica. That's cute. Thank you, Jess, for the hand hearts. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society, this is the tale of the Reanimator. Thank you, Jake. It began with a warning no one took seriously. 3 colleagues stood outside the greenhouse behind Doyle Biotech on an unusually warm March evening. Above the side entrance hung a massive abandoned hornet's nest, brittle and gray, fused to the eaves like a fossilized heart. Thanks, Rachel. One of them joked about knocking it down. Another one advised against it. The third, Marcus, said nothing. Because he believed that if something looked dormant, that doesn't always mean it was. Dr. Rowan Doyle owned the property. Mid-50s, brilliant. Recently widowed. Very withdrawn. Oh, thanks, Rachel. Rachel, is it your birthday? His wife, Elena, had died the previous year after a sudden aneurysm. Oh my God, it's your birthday, Rachel. Happy birthday. I didn't know that. Oh my God, happy birthday. The funeral had been quiet. Doyle had returned to work a week later and never spoke about her again. Thank you, Jake. Those are so pretty. But the greenhouse lights began staying on well past midnight. Marcus worked as a lab technician for Doyle, and he handled nutrient solutions, tissue samples, and environmental controls. It was steady work, predictable, until the plants started dying. Rows of carefully cultivated specimens, rare orchids, experimental hybrid crops, genetically edited vines, all began shriveling without any explanation. And the soil tested normal. The water quality was clean and there were no pathogens detected. One evening, long after closing, Marcus returned to retrieve his laptop he had forgotten. And he saw a light spilling from beneath the sealed workshop door at the rear of the greenhouse. A faint mechanical hum vibrated through the concrete floor. Through the narrow wire glass window, Marcus saw Doyle, standing over a stainless steel table. On the table laid a dead plant, leaves curled inward like burned paper. Doyle drew a syringe filled with a blue cobalt luminous liquid and injected it directly into the plant's stem. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the leaves trembled. The color bled back into them. The stem straightened, the roots twitched, and then the plant moved. Not with wind, not with gravity, it repositioned itself. Marcus stumbled back from the window. He couldn't believe it. The next morning, he convinced himself maybe he had misinterpreted what he had seen. It was probably just a reflection through the window or distortion. When Marcus asked about it, Doyle told him, "Oh, he was just experimenting and the plant had been discarded." That evening, Marcus searched the internal server logs and found encrypted project files labeled Regen Phase 4. Inside were biological reconstruction models, cellular regeneration, DNA reactivation. Not agricultural, but human. And that was when Marcus discovered the secondary chamber. Hidden behind a retractable shelving unit in Doyle's workshop was a temperature-controlled room. The air inside was sterile and painfully cold. At its center stood a medical-grade gurney. On the wall hung a framed portrait of Elena Doyle, and beneath it an empty space that seemed to be prepared for something. Marcus just left without confronting him. He told himself there were laws against this. Ethics boards, hi Skrella. Ethics boards, regulations. No one would risk crossing that line, especially not Dr. Doyle. But grief is a powerful solvent, and it dissolves boundaries. 2 nights later, the power flickered across the entire block. Backup generators kicked in at the lab. Marcus, who lived above the facility in a small rented loft, heard the low hum of the workshop amplifiers engaging at full output. The hell? So he went downstairs. The greenhouse doors were unlocked. Inside, condensation fogged the glass panels. The workshop door stood ajar. Marcus stepped inside, and he felt heat radiating from the secondary chamber. The temperature had been reversed. The cold storage room now glowed with industrial heating lamps. And on the gurney lay the body of Elena Doyle. Tubes of cobalt fluid pumping through her veins. Doyle stood by her side, his hands trembling. Marcus watched in horror as Elena's fingers twitched. Her chest convulsed once sharply, and her eyes opened. They were alert and searching. The lights in the workshop flickered violently. The monitors spiked erratically, and Doyle whispered something. Then Elena sat up. Her movements were not fluid. It was like her body was recalibrating joint by joint. It was creepy. The cobalt solution in the IV lines began to drain. Marcus backed into the wall, and Elena turned her head and looked straight at him. her eyes focused on him with unsettling precision. And then she inhaled, and she looked at Marcus like she was asking for help. The overhead lights burst and darkness swallowed the room except for the heating lamps. Doyle reached for her, and her hand shot out and gripped his wrist tightly, almost like she was angry. Elena's great gaze drifted across the room. She looked panicked. She kept looking at Marcus like she needed help. Doyle stood there weeping openly. The heating system surged hotter, and Marcus suddenly acted without thinking. He sprinted to the environmental control panel and he triggered the emergency thermal purge, a failsafe meant to combat fungal outbreaks where industrial steam lines activate. Superheated vapor flooded the chamber, and Elena's body jerked violently and then fell back to the table. Doyle screamed Marcus's name, but the steam drowned it out, and the cobalt glow faded. Elena's body convulsed once more and then collapsed. And the lab went silent, except for the cooling metal and the weeping of Dr. Doyle. The next morning, the facility was closed indefinitely. The official statement cited an equipment malfunction and structural damage. Marcus resigned, and Doyle vanished from public record within months. Sometimes, the most dangerous thing a person can do is decide that death is a problem to be solved. Because some boundaries are not locked to keep us out. Sometimes they're locked to keep something else from coming back in. And that's the tale of the Reanimator, which is an Are You Afraid of the Dark reworking. Thank you, Justin. What the hell was that guy doing? Just saying weird ass words. Thank you, guys. Beefy, I was just thinking that. Who did he think he was, Fauzi? No one else can do that. Come in here with your random words. He was not nearly as clever as Fauzi. No way he was Fauzi. He said chess burger. What the fuck is that? Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Leela. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Bryce, for the corgi booty. Thank you, Anna. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Steven. Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Jake. A Cheeseburger. That sounded Italian. That wasn't a good Mexican imitation. Thank you, Harriet, for the roses. And Can Knows Luxury, thank you for the cozy cryptids. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Oh, Jess, thanks for the star map of the Polaris. I love that one. It is so pretty. Hi, E Online. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the porch. Thanks for the cute goat. Thank you, Can. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I do write and record all of these stories myself. And if you would like to listen to them when I'm not live, head on over to my YT channel or any of the podcast streaming sites. If you go to my YT channel and subscribe, there is a playlist tab. And if you click on that, there is a bedtime stories playlist. And it has, hi Kim, has all of these bedtime stories, and you can just hit shuffle or play all or loop, and you'll just be out by the second story, I promise. And you can ask, many of the porch pals in here will vouch that it is very helpful in falling asleep and relaxing. Really, Deborah? Oh my God, that's hot for Portland. What were you gonna say, Lorna? Also, if you have story topic suggestions, feel free to shoot them to me in an email at porchlore@gmail.com. I don't check my email every day, just an FYI. So don't ask me every day if I've checked and seen your email. I check my email whenever I feel like it. So I will see them. And when I do get your story suggestion, I will respond. I promise. I respond to every single email. So I go through usually, and I spend like a day going through for like 3 hours and like reading the suggestions, writing them down, looking up the topic, like what state they're in and everything. So it takes a little while. So I don't just like willy-nilly open them and go, okay, cool. I actually like open them and write it down and take note of it. And so I don't just flippantly check it. It takes me a while to dive into that. And Heidi, you must have no attention span if you always come in here and there's like never a story. You must have like a 3-second attention span, boo-boo. That's embarrassing. I don't think I would tell everybody that. Because, yep, there wouldn't be already over 300 people in here in my first hour if I didn't tell stories. So, thank you, Kim. How embarrassing. Because they just call themselves, like she just came in when one ended. So that means you have literally no attention span. One ended literally 4 minutes ago. You can fuck off, lady. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Kim. Love you. Plus, the people who say that, they just say it to be assholes. They're not actually asking. There's 15 fucking things on the screen that say there's live stories. Are there ever stories in here? Bye. Don't need your bitch ass fucking questions. We don't deal with that kind of attitude on the porch. Your rhetorical ass questions, bye. Bye with that dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have claws. Yep, same, lovely. It's almost the full moon, and you guys know what that means. I mean, it's the week you don't fuck with Devin. Thank you for the paw scratch, Veichi. And on seahorses, I love them. Wilkins, you're so funny. You're so funny. Kara said, yes, ma'am. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the next poll for us to vote for the next story. Grab a beanbag chair. Oh, thanks, Songbird. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. Check out the shooting stars. And welcome to the porch. He said it means corgi butts. Yes, corgi booties. I'm so glad, Noodle. Oh, Justin recommends the hammocks. Thank you, Kais. Thank you so much. That is also part of the reason I fiercely protect the energy of this room, is because I spend hours helping you guys regulate your nervous systems, and I'll be damned if some bitch comes in here and cops an attitude and ruins the vibration of the live. You know? So, what do they say? The love and light people? I'm both. I'm love and light until you piss me off, until you're disrespectful. You know, and then I'll tell you all about it. Be right back with the next poll. It's very safe, Case. Also, guys, give it a go. Check out Artemis, also known as Diana, depending on Greek or Roman mythology. Give her a goog and see what she's like. Thank you, Noodle. You're so sweet, too. Exactly, lovely. Let's pin that. No goddess is without ferocity. And that's correct. You don't hear about a single goddess that was put up with shit and was super nice to everybody. No. So check out Artemis/Diana. See what her role was with witches and animals and being a protector and a bearer of justice. Thank you, Holly. That's so cute. And thank you for the star map. Oh, Rich with the corn. No, Diana's not the goddess of war. She's the goddess of the hunt. She's a primordial deity. And she's the goddess of the hunt, wilderness, wild animals, and the protector of women. And her counterpart, Diana, is known as the protector of witches. That is why they made the choice to write Diana as the character for Discovery of Witches. She is based off of Diana from Roman or Artemis from Greek mythology. She's a primordial elemental witch. Sound familiar? Hi, Jade. Oh, I'm so glad, Kais. I hope you do start writing again. Just do it for fun. Don't even do it for anybody else. Exactly, Emily. Thank you. Athena is the goddess of war. Artemis is the goddess of don't fuck with my animals or my witches. She's also associated with magic and the moon. She's also the patroness of the underprivileged, and she is very triggered by injustice, and she defends the underprivileged. Just saying. Me too, guys. Me too. Me too. Yes, Kim. I love that. Yes, she can, Dougie. So yeah, just a reminder that the women that were literally primordial deities that were worshipped for thousands of years were some of the most fierce but loving and feminine and beautiful women on the planet. But they also didn't fuck around. So when I have to turn that switch on, just a reminder that it's not a short circuit. It comes from a place of correcting people's misbehavior and rudeness and disrespect. It doesn't come from a place of lack of control of my emotions or my ego or a temper. That's why I do it so calmly. That's why Matt's so scared, because I always do it so calmly. It comes from a place of 700 years of justice in doling out. Be right back with the next poll. See, Matt says I'm shaking. Matt gets so scared he's like, she just gets so calm when she's mad. Thanks, Emily. I'm also related to Johanna La Loca, Juana La Loca, or known as Joanna the Mad. You can also give her a quick goog. That is my direct ancestor, and yep, Joanna the crazy, the cray-cray. Joanna the do not mess with that girl. And that was literally her royal title. Juana La Loca. So, Joanna the Mad like slime. Justin. That's so funny. Oh my god. By the way, that's not even the side that the witches are on, by the way. Juana La Loca is the other side. That's my German side. It's not even my Scottish side. Because all the Austrians, royal families married royal families from Spain. So that's why I have Juana La Loca in my family. Yes, Case, I have a story on Dear Woman. I'll put it on the poll right now. Be right back. It's also where I get my, well, between the Scottish and the Spanish, I had no hope for not being a bitch. Skrilla, how'd you guess? How'd you guess? Okay, guys. The poll's ready, and we're gonna do Oh, She's Pissed in honor of the full moon coming up. Fierce women and terrifying women in stories. We've got La Lechuza. We've got the Bell Witch. We've got the Deer Woman of Oklahoma. We've got the Haint of Huggin' Molly. And we've got the Greenbrier Ghost. Who's it gonna be? You can vote in the top left-hand corner. We've got La Lechuza. We've got the Bell Witch, also known as Ampusa. We've got the Deer Woman from Oklahoma. Hi, Tenzi. We've got Huggin' Molly. And we've got the Greenbrier Ghost. Yeah, right, Deborah? All strong, pissed off women. Who's it gonna be? Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Skrilla, I don't have any enemies. And what a question. Well, I have, yeah. I have in the past, but I don't have enemies. Cats and coffee, thank you. I more have like people who still creep on my profiles 10 years later type of deal. Definitely don't have enemies. Thank you, Bryce. Corgi booty. Exactly, Wilkins. Enemies are a waste of time. I am too high vibration for that shit. No one's my enemy. I wish everybody the best. Freaking take care of that. You're trying to be my enemy? Good luck, buddy. Amy says, yeah, you do, because you're that girl. Aww. Thank you. Yeah, Chedsy, that's literally it. Yep. That's literally it. I was like, I definitely don't have enemies. No, the stalkers. Oh, they're not really stalkers. They're just, I don't even know what to call them. Observers. Jesse. Yeah, there are trolls, but they're still not my enemies. Lurkers, Ange, there you go. Trolls aren't my enemies. I'm like, you're pathetic. Like, I honestly still feel bad for them. You know what I mean? I'm like, that sucks, dude. That's embarrassing. Oh my gosh, what is that cool instrument? Holy what is that? Semsemia? Semsemi. That's not right, Devin. God, you pronounce things so white sometimes. Semsemia. Semsemia. That seems right. Semsemia? It's pretty. It's really cool. Bryce said, don't try to be a witch's enemy. And see, that's the other thing is like, I'm not really, real witches believe that whatever you put out comes back. So I don't, unless it's a grave injustice that's bigger than me and my ego or pettiness, I don't do that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not gonna like hex an ex because you don't get to be as high vibration as I am with doing that kind of shit. You know, there's plenty of witches that do, and that's fine. But I can literally manifest things I say because I vibrate so high. So if you want to get to that point, you just got to let people not affect you that way. Thank you, DNC. It was fun, wasn't it? Exactly, Rachel. Yep. And I can name one person that I have and would, but I think all of the witches in the world were united and did it together. Do y'all remember that? I'm not going to say any names, but I've definitely done that a few times. It hasn't worked. Hasn't fucking worked. But and that's for major balancing of scales and justice, for the whole world. But, oh yeah, Bisbee, it happened. It's happened more than once worldwide, like a mass calling of the witches, and we did the damn thing, and it has not fucking worked, which is my indicator, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's my indicator that they have their own witches too. They have to. There's no way. They're just walking around without any protection from that shit. Like, there's no way. They've got somebody dark working with them. But anyway, the winner is the Greenbrier Ghost. Yeah, right, Rachel? There's no way they don't. And they're all weird and shit with like all those weird groups and stuff that they do. And with the, secret society, they definitely have some pretty, they have the other side version of witches. Exactly, lovely. What, Rachel? Exactly, lovely. Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. All right, guys. The winner is the Greenbrier Ghost. I'll be right back with that story. Welcome to the porch. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that share arrow while I get that story ready. There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. That puts my live into your friends' FYPs and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Scroll. It helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours, and it helps us get cool people in here instead of weirdos. Also, sharing to your stories and sharing with your friends helps too. And I will be right back with the tale of the Greenbrier Ghost. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Thank you, Amy. Oh, hi, Jackson. Does it really, Robin? I didn't know that. Does it really? I love how you gave it a goog. You're so cute. I wish I could use the goog sticker, but I can't use my own superfan stickers because I'm not a superfan. I can't be my own superfan. But thank you, Angel Mom. But Robin, I love how you gave it a goog. You're so cute. Oh, Jackson, my mom didn't warn me about weirdos. She warned me about all men. Bisbee. Slippery. Excuse me. Believe me. Slippery. That's so funny, Wilkins. Yes, this is the Banshee and Pissed Off Ghost song. Robin. I love you, Robin. I'm sorry, you guys. My iPad froze. Just give me 1 second. That's a good idea, Matt. That's a great idea, Matt. Do it. Eat a banana and chug some water. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Speedy. Thank you, Drew, for the populars. Wilkins, that would be so cool. Country kids, so have I. I've seen a couple ghosts. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Greenbrier ghost. Nestled in the rolling hills of West Virginia, Greenbrier County is known for its breathtaking landscapes and rich history. Thank you, Wilkins. Thank you, DNC. Thanks, Amy. But beneath its picturesque exterior lies a dark tale that has captured the imagination of locals and paranormal enthusiasts alike. It's the story of Zona Heastershoe, a young woman whose tragic life and untimely death would give rise to one of the most famous ghost stories in American history. The legend of the Greenbrier Ghost. Hi, Mystic. Zona was born in 1873 to a farming family in Greenbrier County. She was known for her beauty and her charm. With her bright smile and warm spirit, Zona quickly became a beloved figure in the community. She had dreams of finding true love, and those dreams came to fruition when she met a man named Edward Shue. Edward was charismatic, but somewhat mysterious. He was a blacksmith by trade, and on the surface he seemed to be the perfect match for Zona. Their courtship was swift, and soon they were wed. However, friends and family began to express concerns about Edward's temperament. Some warned Zona that he had a reputation for being hot-headed and very possessive. But the young couple seemed blissfully in love, and Zona believed that she had found her soulmate. The couple moved into a small home in the area, and for a time, things appeared to be going well. But soon after their marriage, Zona's family noticed a change in her demeanor. She became withdrawn. Her vibrant personality was dulled by an unseen weight. And there were rumors surrounding Edward's temperament. And Zona's loved ones feared for her safety. Thank you, Perfectly Imperfect. Welcome in. Then in January of 1897, a chilling event unfolded. Zona was found dead in her home, her lifeless body draped across the floor. The news of her death sent shockwaves through the community. An initial speculation about the cause of death ranged from natural causes to foul play. But it was the 1800s, and an autopsy was never performed because Edward insisted that Zona had simply collapsed because she had been in poor health. And since he was her husband, the local authorities accepted his explanation without question. Zona's funeral was a somber affair. Mourners gathered to pay their respects, but the air was thick with unspoken questions. Skrilla. Woo! What had truly happened to the young bride? In the days following her burial, whispers of foul play circulated among the townsfolk. But with no evidence to support their claims, they had no recourse. As the weeks passed, strange occurrences began to unfold. Zona's mother, Mary Heaster, was particularly affected by her daughter's sudden death. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. And in her grief, she sought solace in her faith. One night, while praying, she was visited by an inexplicable vision. Mary claimed that Zona appeared to her in a dream, ethereal and glowing. Zona's ghost spoke to her, revealing that her death had not been accidental. She told her mother that Edward had killed her and that he had been abusive and that he had strangled her in a fit of rage. Zona's spirit urged Mary to seek justice for her untimely demise, urging her to confront the truth that had been buried alongside her in the ground. This revelation shook Mary to her core. I know, right, Mackenzie? She went and told her mama. And Mary was determined to uncover the truth and bring her daughter's killer to justice. Despite the town's skepticism, Mary was resolute, and she spoke to anyone who would listen, sharing her vision and calling for a new investigation into Zona's death. Mary's fervor caught the attention of local authorities, and they were initially hesitant but intrigued by her claims. Hi, Meg. And as the tide of public opinion began to shift, thanks to Mary, they agreed to exhume Zona's body for a proper examination. Yep, Deborah, she went and ran her mouth around Appalachia till the cops were like, God damn it, we gotta do something about this. Good for her. That's right, bitch. On February 22nd, 1897, her body was exhumed from the cemetery, and the coroner's investigation commenced. And what they discovered was chilling. Zona's body bore marks around her neck consistent with strangulation. The forensic evidence supported Mary's claims, and Edward Shue was promptly arrested and charged with murder. Skrilla. The trial of Edward Shue became a spectacle that captured the attention of the entire nation. The courtroom was filled with townsfolk eager to witness the unfolding drama. Mary testified about her vision, recounting the details of her daughter's ghostly appearance. The defense argued that Mary was merely grieving and that her claims were fabricated. Nevertheless, the prosecution presented the coroner's findings and evidence of Edward's violent temper. As the trial progressed, more witnesses came forward, recounting their own experiences with Edward's volatile nature. Neighbors testified that they had heard arguments between the couple. And several friends of Zona spoke about her fearful demeanor in the months leading up to her death. The courtroom buzzed with tension as evidence mounted against Edward. Yes, Beefy, it's literally the most famous ghost story in the history of the United States. But he maintained his innocence throughout. During the proceedings, something remarkable happened. The ghost of Zona seemed to loom over the trial. Many claimed to have felt a chill in the air whenever her name was mentioned. And in the eyes of many, Zona's spirit was there avenging her own death, haunting the very man who had taken her life. As the trial reached its climax, the jury deliberated. Days passed as they weighed the evidence and the emotional testimonies. Finally, they returned with the verdict: guilty of murder. Edward Shue was sentenced to life in prison, and the town of Greenbrier erupted in a mix of relief and disbelief. After Edward's conviction, Zona's ghost was said to have found peace. Her spirit finally at rest after achieving justice for her untimely death. The haunting of Greenbrier became a cornerstone of local lore, and Zona's story has been told and retold, her life and death intertwined with the theme of love, betrayal, and the unyielding bond between a mother and daughter. And Mary Heaster became a local hero, her unwavering belief in her daughter's spirit leading to justice. The story of Zona Heaster Shue became emblematic of the power of love and the strength of a mother's resolve. The events surrounding her life and death have sparked discussions about the intersection of the spiritual and the material, the known and the unknown. And today, the tale of the Greenbrier ghost is not just a chilling story from the past. Thanks, Stacy. It remains a point of fascination for paranormal investigators and historians around the world. The home where Zona lived is now part of local folklore, attracting those who seek to understand the mysteries of the spirit world. The trial of Edward Shue is often cited in classes and discussions of legal history as one of the first cases where a ghost's testimony influenced a murder trial. Zona's story has inspired countless books, documentaries, and ghost tours, each retelling the event of her life and death with new twists and interpretations. And as we reflect on the haunting tale of Zona Heaster Shue, we're left with questions about life and death and the ties that bind us to those we love. Did Zona truly return from the grave to seek justice? Now, while we may never know for certain, her story continues to resonate, reminding us that love can transcend even the darkest circumstances. And in the shadows of Greenbrier County, West Virginia, the legend of the Greenbrier Ghost lives on, a powerful testament to the enduring spirit of an Appalachian woman who refused to be forgotten. And that's the tale of the Greenbrier Ghost. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. Don't you put that curse on me, Ricky. Did you hear me say that earlier today? Is that why? Because I literally said that in my live earlier today. I was like, don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Oh, good, Rachy, good. Welcome in, guys. Happy Wednesday. But you didn't hear me say that. I literally said it in my live earlier. It's like, don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I actually quote that movie a lot. It's kind of a North Carolina classic. Welcome in, guys. My name's Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Perfectly Imperfect. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them on my YT channel or any of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you'll find me. I also have a playlist on my YT channel called Bedtime Stories where you can find all of these, and you can just hit like shuffle or play all and fall right asleep. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that. Exactly, Meg. Exactly. Meg said, that's right. Women believing women gets results. Imagine that. Right, Meg? Imagine that. I love that take. That's exactly right. Thank you, Perfectly Imperfect. It's so nice to see you. How have you been, cutie? I missed ya. Oh, I put your cat out, Luna. Aw. All the kitties snooze. Thank you. Hi, I'm Epic. Yeah, right? You get it. Thank you, Miss Mystic. Yeah, I'm glad to see you back, LK. I know there's a lot of people in here, but I still remember almost everybody, and I missed you. Yeah, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Which of the stories is my favorite? Mario? Well, that's a good question. My favorite for a long time has been The Hitchhiker. But I will say, I am a big fan of the Selkies story. I'm also a huge fan of the Bell Witch story. Very, very proud of that one. So I guess that would be those. Is the Bell Witch or the Selkies or the Hitchhiker. Oh, Kais, I'm sorry to hear that, but it'll be so much better once that toot's gone. Michaela, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Oh yeah, and Tesla, you're right. I love the Tesla story. I'm really proud of it. Okay, guys, I'm going to set up the next poll and I'll be right back. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. And if you feel the need to, I would love it if you would hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner and the repost button and the story button. Helping share it out helps us grow our beautiful porch. I'll be right back with the next poll. Oh, thanks, Mama Bear. Uh-oh, guys, we might have to restart the live. We just got gifting suspended. Let me try to appeal it. Jerks. Jerks. Yeah, they just suspended my gifting for the live. But I appealed it, so let's see what they say. If not, I'll just restart the live. Because that's bullshit. Because they said that low engagement, which is ridiculous. There's 446 people in here. And we have over 100,000 taps. So if you guys could write keywords, that'd be great. Because I just pulled it up so that they wouldn't bitch about my screen. I always pull it down there. And I just pulled it up so they wouldn't complain. TT. Oh, good. The appeal was approved. Thank you, TikTok. We love you, TikTok. Thank you for approving my appeal. I'm a real person, and I was literally on camera on my live today for 3.5 hours, like 5 hours ago. Oh, not yet, Country Kid. Let me write that down. I forgot. Thank you guys for the paper crane and the roses. All right. I'll be right back. Just setting up the poll and the screen flashed up, so I'll be right back. Yeah, Jerry. Definitely. Okay, guys, the next poll is ready. We have... I know, I said it like I'm not a really... I'm like, I am a real human. Like I said it really... really weird. Like I'm... Like, I swear, I totally am a human. Oh, hi, Mickey. I'm glad you're here. All right, you guys. We have The Devil's Highway. Featuring Skrilla. Beep, beep, beep. We also have the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Oh, thank you, Robin. We also have Booger Hollow. We have the Melonheads. And we have Haint Blue. He said the fuck the trumpet. All right, you guys. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box. You can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Who's it gonna be? Skrilla, it's official. They hate your story. The Melonheads is literally, and the Fresno Nightcrawlers are two of the biggest loser stories that never win. I literally stacked it with stories people never vote for. We were testing it to see if people really hate Skrilla's story. And they totally do. Dude, Melonheads is on the poll, was on the poll every single night, every single poll last night, and it didn't win once. So don't say it's just because of the Melonheads. What's wrong, Chris? Did you want a different story? Oh, Melonheads is your favorite? Well, Melonheads is winning, so... There you go. Eric, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Aw, Chelsea, I know. Haint Blue never makes it either. Correlation, causation, skrillation. Skrillation is killing me. Why, Deborah? You're afraid of cows? Oh, Haley, it just ended. Okay, I won't, Skrilla. I know, Deborah. Okay, guys, I'll be right back with the Melonheads. They do not hate you. They don't like a love story featuring cows. They love you. When you're not here, literally everybody asks where you are, and I'm not even kidding. They hate Travis. Yeah, see? I was just... Justin, you took the words out of my mouth. They hate Travis. They like you. The robot cows. Meg over here on YT said, oh my God, Skrilla, that's so embarrassing that he lost to those stories. And to be fair, I love all my stories. It's just I notice the ones that don't win polls. And so I wanted to test it out and put all the ones that never win up against his story to see if people really don't like it. And there we go. We have confirmed. Robin said, poor Benjamin Money. Nate said, warning, Travis Trigger. Kim, it's the Devil's Highway, or Highway 666. Robin, you did not just call him Maine. We cool, Maine. Thank you, Cassie. Seahorses, I love them. Bisbee, thanks for the cozy cryptids. Mario said, what's a melonhead? Asking for a cantaloupe friend. Oh, crap. I meant to pin it. And I unpinned it. Sorry, Robin, I unpinned you because we were pinning it at the same time. Oh, thanks, Chris. I love that. Chris, that pop parrot reminds me of you. Whenever I see it now in other lives, it always makes me think of you because you love that and it's so cute. All right, guys, quick swig and I'll be right back with melon heads. Haley, it'll be the top left-hand corner, pretty much where my red and black banner is right now. It'll show up there, and it's like a blue square. But when people get gifted a universe, a hot pink banner shows up and covers it up. So if you're looking at the top, you might not even see it until that stupid universe thing goes away. And I had a lot of people ask me that last time. So maybe I'll do the next poll for like 3 minutes so people have time to find it. Because I think we have a lot of new porch pals. Yeah, you can swipe the banner up and it'll go away. Oh, Haley, don't be sorry at all. A lot of people in here ask that and are new. Can the icon size be edited? No, I wish. You can't do anything on TikTok. Like, they don't let you do anything like that. I wish. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or it would be nice if they designed an app where, I don't know, they didn't have a stupid banner that covers up a regular feature that people use with pointless information about somebody else getting a universe in another fucking live. You know, they could have just like removed that. But, you know, they'll just keep it forever when every single live host I know complains about that banner. But what? They make changes constantly, and they will not get rid of that stupid ass banner. So it's like, hey, maybe stop making changes nobody asked for, and maybe just get rid of the stupid universe banner. Okay, thanks. Thanks, TikTok. Because the banner also covers up the treasure boxes when people send someone a membership. Like, what a design flaw. What idiot came up with that? He's like, I got an idea. Let's put a happy banner every single time a stranger around the world gets a universe and have it cover up all of our features. All of our interactive features. And then let's ding them with not having an interactive live. How's that sound? Rich said that sounded just like them. Oh, really, Meg? Interesting. Hiya, boy Willie. Bing bong, bang bong. Bing bong bong. Bing bong bing. Bing bong bing. That's for you, Kim. Oh, it's gone, Skrilla? Perfect. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Melonheads. Kim with the fist. Ohio doesn't market its folklore the way coastal states do. There's no tidy plaques or guided lantern tours for most of it. The legends live in the margins and have joking warnings, in the way locals change the subject when you ask too many follow-up questions. The Melonheads were one of those stories. The legend changes. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Skrilla. The legend changes depending on who tells it, but the core remains the same. They're bald, pale humanoids with grotesquely swollen heads, child-sized bodies, huge eyes, sharp teeth, living deep in the woods. Thank you, Skrilla. Around places like Kirtland, Chardon, and the outskirts of Cleveland. Some versions say they're the descendants of asylum patients. Others say they're the result of cruel medical experiments. A few say they aren't human at all. The stories change depending on who you ask. But the warnings don't. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Flying. In Ohio, the stories cluster around a few specific places. But the most persistent were tied to the wooded backroads and ravines near Kirtland and the outskirts of Cleveland's older rural edges. Places where the land dips unexpectedly and the roads narrow without warning, where GPS loses confidence. Thanks, Lana. Perfect. Melon slide. Daniel and I decided to meet up because of those stories. We were TikTok friends first, bonded by a shared interest in Midwestern folklore and the quiet creepiness of places people assume are boring. Both of us lived in Ohio, and we had heard the same legends. And the more I researched, the more I noticed how deliberately vague everybody kept it. No one ever said the legend was impossible. They just said that it was exaggerated. Kirtland had a complicated past, layered with religious movements, abandoned properties, and stretches of land that changed hands quietly and often. Hi, Auntiana. In the early 20th century, there had been multiple privately run children's facilities in rural Ohio. Some legitimate, and some not. Rachel, that's the best shit your dad ever did. Literally. Records were incomplete. Fires, relocations, quiet closures. The kind of historical gaps where legends love to root. But the version that kept resurfacing in my research involved an isolated doctor who conducted experimental treatment on children with, I'm going to mispronounce this, you guys. I was told I mispronounced it and I still don't know how to pronounce it. Hydrocephalus. I don't think that's how it's pronounced though, because someone told me I was wrong. According to the legend, when the facility shut down, the children were either abandoned or escaped into the surrounding woods. Over generations, they survived. Yeah, you really are, Rachel. You really, really are. That's right. Okay, well then, somebody told me I was wrong. Thank you. Okay, thanks, guys. My stepdad's wrong. My stepdad's an idiot. According to the legend, when the facility shut down, the children were either abandoned or escaped into the surrounding woods. Over generations, they survived, adapted, and withdrew completely from normal society. And that explanation was often presented as a way to rationalize the story and make it seem less supernatural. Hi, Robin. Welcome in, cutie. But it raised more questions than it answered. Children don't survive alone in the woods without infrastructure. Communities don't remain hidden for decades without leaving some trace. We chose a stretch of road locals unofficially referred to as Melonhead Road, though it never appeared under that name on any map. It curved through dense woods, dipping into shallow valleys, where sunlight struggled to reach the forest floor. I had read that the sightings tended to happen near dusk, when the light flattened and distances became hard to judge. We arrived earlier than that, parking where the pavement gave way to gravel and the woods closed in tightly enough to feel intentional. The air smelled like damp leaves, and the forest didn't feel abandoned. It felt occupied in a way that I couldn't really explain. I remember noticing how quiet it was. Even the insects seemed muted. As we walked, I paid close attention to the terrain. That part of Ohio is deceptive. It looks gentle at first glance, but the land is cut through with sudden drops, narrow ravines, and sink-like depressions. I understood how a place like this could swallow people, and how disappearance could be misattributed to accidents. The woods don't need to be malicious to be dangerous. The first unsettling detail was the lack of animal movement. No deer tracks, no birds. I had grown up hiking in the woods, and this absence was not normal. Predators clear areas like this. Something had staked a claim here, and everything else had learned to stay away. We found remnants of something man-made. Not far from the road, concrete fragments half buried under leaves. Rusted metal twisted into shapes that suggested fencing or bed frames. Nothing intact enough to identify. I thought about the children's facility that I had researched and how easy it would have been a century ago to close a place like that without oversight, and how many lives could simply vanish into paperwork errors and unmarked graves. The deeper we went, the more distorted the woods felt. Trees leaned inward at unnatural angles. Branches grew low and tangled, forcing us to slow down and move deliberately. I became aware of being observed, and not from one direction, it felt like from everywhere. Dusk crept in gradually, draining color from the forest until everything settled into a shade of gray and sickly green. Thank you, Nami. We continued forward, not because we felt brave, but because turning around suddenly felt like a worse option. The woods had closed in behind us without us really noticing. The first figure appeared at the edge of my vision, just long enough to register as wrong. It was too short, too still. I slowly turned, my heart hammering, and then I saw nothing. But the creepy sensation didn't fade. And then they began to emerge gradually. Thank you, Robin. Pale shapes, half concealed behind trees, rounded silhouettes. And then one of them stepped fully into my view, and my brain struggled to reconcile what my eyes were even seeing. I immediately felt pure terror. The head was enormous in proportion to the body. Thank you, Chelsea, I love that. It was bulbous and misshapen, and the skin was stretched thin and pale. It watched us without blinking. Its posture was eerily calm. And then another appeared, and then another. They didn't rush, and they didn't threaten us. They just slowly surrounded us with a patience of something that had done this before. And I realized that the stories about them being feral monsters was wrong. These beings weren't wild. They were curious. The smell hit me next. It was a sharp, coppery scent layered with something medicinal like old antiseptic soaked in fabric. It triggered an image in my mind of hospital corridors from a different era. Then one of the melonheads moved closer, and I could see now that its skin bore scars. Some old, some newer, crisscrossing its limbs in patterns that looked surgical. And then I started to realize, I don't think these were the descendants of experiments. I think these were the experiments. And that this wasn't a forgotten tragedy frozen in time. This was still ongoing. Then one of them reached down and picked up a rusted metal object from the ground. It took me a moment to recognize it as part of an old medical brace, the kind used to restrain patients. Then the melonhead turned it over in its hand, looking at it with memory and shame. And that was the moment I realized the melonheads weren't haunting these woods, they were guarding them. Whatever facility once stood here, whatever had been done to them, it had not ended cleanly. Evidence remained, structures buried. The melonheads had stayed, not out of fear. They stayed because this place held the truth of what had been done to them, and they wouldn't allow it to be uncovered. The one holding the brace met my gaze, and its eyes I saw not malice, but sorrow. And then I realized that we were not prey. We were trespassers. I looked at Daniel, and slowly and deliberately we began to back away. Careful not to turn our backs, not to make any sudden movements. No permits. The melonheads tracked every step, their formation shifting to maintain distance, but they followed us all the way to the edge. To the edge of the tree line, and they stopped exactly where the forest ended. When the gravel of the road finally came into view, I felt a breath of relief. And as they stood there in the fading light at a silent boundary between the past and the present, the last thing I saw before they melted back into the trees was the one with the brace lifting its head slightly in acknowledgement. The legend of the melonheads exists to keep people away, framed as a campfire story so no one digs too deep. Because the truth is more unsettling. Ohio didn't just create monsters through neglect and cruelty. It hid them. And that's the tale of the melonheads. Gorilla. He said, hey. I was like, who is he saying hi to? I've never seen that name before. And then I look at the comment. You're so funny. Hi, Jade. Welcome in. Oh, wait, let me get rid of the melon heads. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning, sometimes later. Oh, thanks for the seahorse, Cassie. Seahorses, I love them. Seahorse CL. Oh, thanks, Amy. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and then I read them live over here. But if you want to listen to them when I'm not live, you can anytime you want on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you'll find me. I also have all of the links in my bio. Thank you for all the taps. And I'm going to set up another poll. If you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner? And then there's a little circle that's yellow with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts the live into your friends' FYPs. Hi, Chance. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Also, sharing to your stories helps too. Hi, Thomas. And grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. Check out the shooting stars, and welcome to the porch. I'll be right back with the next poll. Hello, John. Welcome in. Oh my God, yay, Jules, your grilled cheese sucks. You should share a picture in the Discord. Okay, guys, the next pull is ready. We have Poplar Creek, the name is in the logbook, Booger Hollow, the Ozarks Howler, and the Overnight Delivery. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box, and you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. We have Poplar Creek, which is the new story of the week. We have the names in the logbook. We have Booger Hollow. We have the Ozarks Howler, and we have the Overnight Delivery. Who's it gonna be? Oh my God, Fauzi, Ghost of Aokigahara. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. And the winner is Poplar Creek. Good night, Ellie. Sweet dreams. Deborah, that's so cute. You're so funny. Thank you, Suzanne, for the watermelon slide. All right, guys, I will be right back with the tale of Poplar Creek. Grab a beanbag, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Happy Wednesday. Skrilla. Like Jim Carrey, Skrilla? Oh, hi, Scarlett. You ready? I take it back. The news story of the week is totally not Poplar Creek. It's the Dead Children's Playground. Whoops. Public reek? What does that mean? I don't get it. I think I missed something. Oh, okay. Public reek popcorn. I'm starting to think Fauzi's definitely an alien because I think I'm right because it's like he hears the words. I think public reek is supposed to be Poplar Creek, and I think he's like teaching himself English by hanging out with us in the live because I think he's from outer space, and he's like public reek, beep 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 boop boop, Poplar Creek, boop boop beep beep boop, public reek. Really? I think it's true. Yeah, or he's like an AI programming himself. Hanging out with humans. Like public reek. Poplar Creek. Thank you, Jeff, for the star map of Polaris. Yeah, like Wally. Yeah, Scarlett, that's what I think. And then, Scarlett, you learned how to be a real human. A Furby story. Oh, here we go. He said, he said, Bop basuk ditum unum burger hollow. I love him. I love him. Thank you, Misbehavin'. That's so cute. Jade, don't ask him, just translate it. Yeah, Cassie, that's not the case because that's not it. See? See, Cassie? He just responded to you. Was it, Sarah? Awesome. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of Poplar Creek. Last June, I received an email inviting me to spend an entire week in a place called Poplar Creek. I couldn't believe it. Someone had discovered my channel. The subject line read, "We love your folklore content. Come experience the real Appalachia." The email explained that Poplar Creek was trying to revive tourism after decades of economic decline. So they were inviting a handful of content creators to stay free of charge in exchange for making content showcasing to our audiences what their little holler has to offer. The offer included accommodations at a restored historical cabin, free meals, guided tours, and unrestricted access to historic sites that were normally closed to the public. It honestly sounded like my dream trip. I searched for Poplar Creek online and there wasn't much. An outdated town website, a Facebook page that hadn't been updated in 6 years. A few photographs showing brick storefronts beneath huge oak trees. Everything looked charming. And to be honest, I'm not at the point yet where I can really afford to travel to all these spooky locations for content like I'd like to, yet. And this was my first brand collaboration offer with all expenses paid. And I was just feeling really proud of myself and appreciative for the recognition of my passion and hard work. So this felt like a sign from the universe that this content creating thing was actually going to work out. So I accepted the offer. It took almost 8 hours to reach the town. The interstate gave way to a 2-lane highway, which eventually turned into a winding mountain road. Eventually, my GPS stopped working. But someone had anticipated that, and I started seeing hand-painted wooden signs every few miles. "Welcome, content creators. This way to Poplar Creek," with arrows leading the way. How quaint and cute. I'm definitely going to love this place. When I finally rounded the last bend, I smiled. It looked beautiful. Fresh flower boxes hung beneath every window. The courthouse clock chimed noon. Families walked between antique stores carrying ice cream cones. It felt like stepping into another era. Almost immediately, people started waving at me. And not just politely, like they already knew who I was. Everyone seemed genuinely excited that I had come. And it was hard to wrap my head around the fact that these people recognized me or were fans of my work. But their reception to my arrival made me feel like a queen. In the town square, they introduced me to a few other content creators that had been invited. They seemed to be creators with channels that had started to take off too, so we were all new to this whole experience. There was a guy who was a food content creator, there to film content about their restaurants. Then there was a girl who was an outdoor adventure content creator who was going to showcase the Appalachian wilderness in the area. And then there was me, the folklorist and spooky storyteller. They all seemed nice, and we wished each other a good week of content. And then we all split up to be escorted to our isolated cabins. My cabin was extremely remote. There wasn't even an established road to get to it. Just a dirt trail that my car barely cleared. It sat surrounded by forest overlooking a creek, and it was beautiful. Inside, there was a stone fireplace, old quilts, fresh flowers on the kitchen table. Someone had even stocked the refrigerator. God, I've missed Southern hospitality like this. The first 3 days were wonderful. I filmed old haunted caves, historic cemeteries, an abandoned mine, and railroad tunnel. Then I realized that I hadn't encountered any of the other creators yet. Hi, Holly. Which was a little odd, but we were off-grid pretty much, so I figured that our paths just hadn't crossed yet. Everywhere I went, a local offered another story. Every resident seemed eager to tell me about the town's history and folklore. And I noticed that one thing kept coming up. They were incredibly proud that nobody ever left Poplar Creek. Families had lived there for generations. Children grew up, married neighbors, and raised children of their own, all within that same little holler. Nobody ever leaves Poplar Creek. Everyone smiled when they said it. Kinda creepy, if you ask me. By the fourth morning, I had decided to explore somewhere off the beaten path. Somewhere nobody had recommended. An overgrown logging road that I noticed heading into the woods behind my cabin. About half a mile in, I found something unexpected. A camera, broken, half buried beneath leaves. Not old enough to have been there very long. It looked new. The camera wasn't salvageable, but maybe the footage someone was trying to film would still be intact. I grabbed the SD card and I took it back to the cabin with me. The card was still readable, and when I opened the files, it was footage of the girl I had met earlier in the week. The outdoor adventure creator. I scrolled through her raw footage, and it looked like she had spent several days happily exploring Poplar Creek. But then the recordings changed. Her videos became erratic and paranoid. They were all of her very close to the camera, whispering about how people were following her. She described how her cabin had been searched while she was in town, and how her rental car wouldn't start. The final clip lasted only 12 seconds. The camera was shaking violently as it showed a view of her running through the woods. Multiple inadequate flashlight beams filled the trees behind her as she ran in tears. Then the recording ended suddenly, with someone grabbing the camera and throwing it to the ground. That was it. No explanation. What? I drove straight into town. I intended to get gas, stock up on some snacks, and then leave immediately. But after I filled up my car with gas, it wouldn't start. The town mechanic checked it out, who just happened to be attached to said gas station. And he calmly explained that the distributor had somehow failed overnight. He said that he could have the part for me after the weekend. Then he told me that by the time he got the part in, I wouldn't even be worried about leaving Poplar Creek. Okay, weirdo. Great. Oh my God, that's so cute. Thanks. That's so cute. Great. I was stranded and freaking out. After that, I was instantly hyper aware of my surroundings, and I started to notice some strange things. The same old pickup truck drove past my cabin every single evening, 3 times. One afternoon, I returned from town and immediately knew that someone had been inside the cabin. Nothing had been stolen, but I could tell everything had been touched. My suitcase had been unzipped, and my notebook that I had left closed on the coffee table was now open on the kitchen counter like someone had been flipping through my notes. That night, I couldn't sleep. The next morning, I hiked back to where I'd found the camera, but this time I kept going. The logging road eventually ended at an old quarry, and hidden behind stacks of broken stone were 6 small cabins. So I decided to investigate. Oh my God, that was so cute. What was that? Inside each cabin, I found abandoned bags and suitcases, full of not just clothing, but tripods, ring lights, cameras, batteries, phones, laptops, iPads. Thousands of dollars worth of creator equipment. Just left along with all their other belongings. Oh my God, what kind of sick game is this? And that's when I heard trucks approaching. Hi, Penny. I ducked behind an overturned loader while 4 men climbed out. They carried rifles. I immediately recognized one of them as the mechanic who looked at my car. Another was the man who checked me into my cabin. They began searching the cabins one by one. Thank you, Penny. After a while, one of the men pointed toward the woods with his inadequate flashlight, toward where I was hiding. I didn't wait. I just ran like hell. I spotted an old coal conveyor stretching across a ravine, half collapsed, so I crawled underneath it just as headlights swept over the hillside. Hi, CJ. The trap worked. We missed you. They spread out below me. Flashlights cut through the darkness. I figured if I just hide here perfectly still and quiet until daylight, I should be able to run and find help. But then I realized they had dogs with them. I could hear their barking echoing through the valley. White people talk. My heart nearly stopped. I inched across the rusted steel framework until I reached the opposite side. And then one support beam loudly snapped beneath me. The noise drew every flashlight up toward me, and they saw me. Without thinking, I just slid down the rest of the way, and I hit the ground pretty hard. But I scrambled to my feet, and I just kept running. Branches whipped at my face. I lost one of my shoes crossing a creek, but I just kept moving. I could hear the dogs getting closer. And then I saw the railroad tracks. Active tracks. And then I saw a freight train rounding the bend. And without even thinking, I just sprinted beside it. I grabbed a ladder and somehow pulled myself aboard. It must have been adrenaline because I didn't even know I had that kind of upper body strength, to be honest. I held on for dear life to the side of that train as it carried me out of that terrifying valley. CJ. The last thing I saw was nearly 30 people with rifles standing beside the tracks, watching me get away. State police returned with me 2 days later, and Poplar Creek was exactly where I left it. The town existed, the people existed, the cabins existed. But the townspeople insisted that I had become confused while hiking after suffering dehydration and a head injury from falling. I did not fall. The mechanic produced repair records showing that he had never worked on the car. The innkeeper showed signed paperwork claiming that I had officially checked out voluntarily. Thank you, Millie. Even the waitress swore that I had left early. Every single resident told exactly the same story. They were all in on it. Thank you, Loki. And without evidence, there wasn't a case. A month later, I uploaded a video explaining my terrifying encounter in Poplar Creek as a warning to other creators. But instead, it sparked a major rush of content creators going to Poplar Creek to try and document their own experiences in what they had deemed the holler from hell. Then, about 6 months later, I received an email. Subject line: "Thanks for making Poplar popular again." The email read, "Dear Creator, thank you for the publicity and bringing so much attention to our humble little holler. We've already invited next year's batch of creators, and only one will win the title of next year's tourism ambassador." And that's the tale of Poplar Creek. Thanks, Nami. Thanks, Layla. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I am also here on Wednesdays in the daytime. And today we went on a 3-hour hike. Thanks for those of you who joined. If you weren't able to make it, no problem. We do it every Wednesday. Come say hi. Yeah, Rachie, they are liars. I love storms. Live, laugh, love. I don't feel like they're spooky, but I love them. I've never really understood the correlation of storms and spookiness, but I do love storms. I've just never really understood where, like, they are associated with horror movies. I don't know how that got started. Yeah, Matt, you guys had some flooding, right? How's it going now? Thank you, Margaret. Oh, well, yeah, you shouldn't be walking outside in lightning. That is scary. You're doing it to yourself, though. Don't walk outside in lightning. Always getting stuck in the mud. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Yes, Scarlett, I have a story about the djinn being wind. It's called The Wind That Knew My Name. It's on the story list. No, Skrilla, I'm talking about people being scared of storms in their house, but I'm talking about how they're associated with horror movies. Like, they're in the backdrop. It's like always scarier with it, and I don't really get where that comes from. We're not talking about people driving in bad weather. I'm talking about the association of horror with thunderstorms. Except for math, Mace. Except for math. It's a hard no. CJ. Exactly, CJ. It doesn't really make any sense when you think about it. It really doesn't. Me too, Brooke. I go outside to check out this. I love storms, and so does Merlin. Isolated from what, Brian? Not being scared of storms? Good night, Amanda. Bye, Fauzi. Have a good night. And yes, Shannon, we sure are. Did you, Beefy? Cool. Yeah, same, Deborah. Me too, Scarlett. That's a good point, CJ. I like that. I like where your mind's at. That makes sense. I know, Lana. I agree with you completely. It's so bad, but I love it. Yeah, that makes sense, CJ. It would make it harder to run. Oh, Brian, isolated from people. Yeah, but why is the dark and stormy? Every night is dark. Why does the storm make it scarier if you're always isolated from people? Why is it scarier when there's a storm? That's what I'm saying. I don't really understand that concept. Like the dark, I get people are scared of the dark. That goes back to like when we don't have night vision. But you're not more isolated because you're in a storm. You know what I'm saying? I don't really. It's just a thing that like it's always been associated with like scary stories and stuff. And I'm like, I think storms are cozy. I guess that makes sense. No, Cassie, that would make the most sense, but I don't think people think of it that deeply. People don't even know that. Yeah, Whitney, what kind of storms are you in? Because I feel like people's TVs cover up that stuff way more than the occasional thunderclap. And I could definitely still hear my neighbor scream if there was a thunderclap. They're not usually that insane. Occasionally, but the timing of that would have to be 5 million to 1. Like that the scream happened just when the loudest thunderclap ever. I don't know. I just doesn't really. I think the chase thing makes the most sense. And in the movie, the phone line, or yeah, I guess the power going out. But like nobody cares about that anymore. We have cell phones. Like, damn, my landline's not working. I'm gonna panic. You know what I mean? Like that's just a very, I don't know, outdated fear. You care about what, Jade? Fliff Fluff Fluff said my phone's on the charger now just in case. Good job. Good job. Yeah, but Whitney, nobody's thinking of that. That's what I'm saying. In movies, they're always in a house. And the storms, it's not in cars. It's in movies and stories. They're always like in the house, like, oh, and it was storming outside. And they're like safe in a mansion. Like, why does the storm make it scarier? Like, what? You're in a giant mansion, safe and sound. There's 12 fireplaces. You're in the coziest place you could ever be in a storm. Like, and it's so scary. Yeah, CJ. True. That's so funny. Good night, Maui. Sweet dreams. See you tomorrow. Yeah, Rochelle, that's what you said. I love that. That reminds me so much of in North Carolina, there's a lot of tin roofs. And I love that sound with rain. Beefy said it was a dark and stormy TikTok live. Yeah, Matt, that's... yeah. Good night, Lana. Sweet dreams. We'll see you tomorrow. Hi, Tanya. Oh, it's Zine o'clock, CJ. By the way, CJ, I thought of you the other day. I saw a commercial for one. And you're right, I say it wrong. I don't care. I didn't even know what it was until you. I thought you were talking about Corn magazine. The first time you're like, I got a stack of zines or something, like a bunch of zines. And I was like, what? Weirdo. Yeah, I've been seeing the commercials too. Yeah, I thought you were like, got a stack of Hustler. I was like, what? Love you too, Jade. Good night. Yeah. Like, it was right when we met on TikTok, and I was like, cool, dude. And he was cackling that I thought he meant magazines. He's like, what? He's like, no, they're like tobacco pouches. I was like, oh, never heard of them. And he's like, they're not pronounced zines. Because I thought he was like, got some mad zines, magazines, you know? Like, yeah, that's how CJ and I became friends. No, it was in Crimson's live. It was in Crimson's live. And then you all knew what they were except me. And Crimson was laughing too. That was like the first time I met you. And I was like, what are zines? You have magazines? Because you were like, I got a whole bunch of zines. Or something. You said like you had a lot. And I was like, is he just sitting there with a stack of like porn? What is he talking about? Yeah. You made fun of my pronunciation. Yeah. And I was like, I've never heard of that before. And like, I like when I learn new things. So then I was like, of course, gave it a goog. And then now I'm seeing commercials for them. So I'm like, man, CJ was really ahead of the cool curve. Now there's commercials. Exactly. Live, laugh, love. I think it comes from my journalism school experience. They call it a zine. Like you had to make a zine. 2,000. That's a lot. Okay, guys. Get ready for the night shift at Sycamore Diner. I'll be right back. Justin. You hear that, Skrilla? You see that shit talking? Submitted for, he said, I feel targeted. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through 5 hours, no stops. Skrill. But then came the rain. Oh my God, that sounds so good, Rich. I'm jealous. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit, trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road. Surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. Two-lane. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, and a long counter with spinning stools. Even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people? They all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet. Like they weren't expecting me. Gesundheit, CJ. Not in a rude way, just quiet. Like they weren't expecting me. Like I had walked into the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. The waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. "You get caught in the rain, sweetheart," she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. "Yeah, the highway's a mess." She chuckled and patted my shoulder. "Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers." I sat down at a corner booth and the vinyl creaked. And I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal. Sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard, drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had this same look in their eyes, like they were there, but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corners of their eyes, even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window, and the storm was still going. But now the wind had picked up, and I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. Not even a flicker. The food came fast, too fast, like under 5 minutes. But it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners. Greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. Thank you, bed of dust. But when I stood up, the lights flickered. Just once, and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in mid-air. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm. A voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting. No one was outside, just wind and rain, and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate. Still warm and still half eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless. Like someone had painted over them. You shouldn't be here, honey, she said in that same cheerful voice. Not yet. I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in. She raised a hand and the walls began to shimmer. Literally shimmer, like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And then I saw it, underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot, like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second, I was on the side of the road soaked to the bone. Or 1 second, I was inside, and the next, I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, pulled up with the ceiling missing, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign. No glowing windows. Just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No music, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. Pulled up with my Sailor Miss. I didn't tell anyone, not for weeks. All I want for my birthday. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site. And I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight. And everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article? The same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, the same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little, because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Happy birthday, Happily Rude Mom. Happy birthday. Thank you for spending your Wednesday with me, Porch Pals. You could be anywhere and you choose to be here on the porch with me. I love you guys so much. Thank you also for those of you who hung out with me today for Witchy Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. And yes, if you were not able to fall asleep, please, before you go, don't forget to follow me. So if you fall off the porch, you can find us again. And if you weren't able to fall asleep, head on over to my YT channel, where there is a playlist called Bedtime Stories. And you will find all of these stories in a playlist form. So you can just hit shuffle or play all and just fall asleep. Probably by the second story. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. Also on all of the podcast sites. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. Sleep well. And don't forget, stay spooky. Thank you, Meg.